So I just wanted to make this really quick video for you today because I have a simple trick that you can use for what I call perpetual recovery ability. And perpetual recovery is just basically the ability to continually recover very, very quickly from any type of training or gameplay or anything like that. Because as the season approaches and our training's getting harder and our workload's harder, and I've had a lot of players say, hey, like I'm getting overtrained, what do I do? This is a simple thing that you can do that immediately will help your recovery ability. And before we actually get into the trick, I think there's something that you really, really need to understand first of all. So without getting too sciencey, we all know the importance of your central nervous system. Obviously, the central nervous system is basically your power plant, and it essentially supplies your entire body with everything it needs to become more powerful and really train hard. And when your power plant, so-called power plant, gets depleted, you're not going to have as much power output. You're not going to feel as good, and you're going to have all kinds of really negative consequences, and you're going to get overtrained. But when your central nervous system is really operating on a high level, you're going to feel just at the top of your game all the time. And our goal is to keep our central nervous system really charged up, okay? And any type of training taxes your central nervous system. So the speed that we can recover our central nervous system from training is going to determine how we can, perpetually recover. So there was a really good strength coach named Buddy Morris who I've learned a lot from, and he talks about the autonomic nervous system and how to recover that branch of the central nervous system really quickly. So essentially, your central nervous system is made up of a lot of different branches, and one of those branches is the autonomic nervous system, which is further subdivided into your sympathetic and your parasympathetic nervous system, as you can see in this picture. And your sympathetic nervous system is basically all of your fight hormones, and your parasympathetic is like the flight, so it's fight or flight. And obviously when we're in sympathetic mode, we kind of, our adrenaline gets pumping, it releases all these catabolic hormones like adrenaline, cortisol, and these are essential hormones to get you fired up for training. But at the same time, the more that you release those hormones, the harder it is to recover, and the more drained that you're going to be in your central nervous system. But on the flip side, the parasympathetic nervous system basically releases your anabolic sex hormones, okay, like testosterone, growth hormone. It's really your body's own natural source of recovery hormones. And the more in training, we obviously have to be in sympathetic mode, but outside of training, we have to be in parasympathetic mode as much as possible so that we can really, focus on recovering all the time when we're outside of the gym. And there's a really easy way to shift into parasympathetic mode, as fast as possible and stay in parasympathetic mode all the time so that we're perpetually recovering from our training and not just staying in sympathetic mode and draining our recovery resources. And trust me, this really, really helps once you get into your season this year. So, a really quick way to shift into parasympathetic mode, and also I wanted to mention the speed that you can shift into parasympathetic mode after training. So the speed that you can get from sympathetic dominance into parasympathetic dominance is really going to speed up your recovery ability. So there's one really quick way, and that's how to just change your breathing patterns. And we got a picture of Elliot Halls, my good friend, who's actually from the same kind of background as I am, where I learned the majority of this stuff, and he talks about it as well. We're both Czech certified, and actually I got an email the other day from a player asking, he was looking to actually become a certified trainer and further his education, and I said, the best certification I ever got was my Czech certification, which is actually holistic health coaching. And this is where we learn this stuff, and you learn so many more tricks from that certification than any personal training certification you could ever get. Tricks that you can use to stay in parasympathetic mode, and Elliot's really good at that. He's a professional strongman, knows what he's talking about, and we talk about this a lot. Very, very valuable for athletes. But not to get off on a tangent, I have a really simple breathing pattern that you can use to stay in parasympathetic mode all the time and really balance both sides of your nervous system for optimal recovery. So this is the breathing sequence, and you're going to perform it before each meal that you eat and right after you train. okay? And all you do is breathe into your belly, so not up into your chest, but you breathe into your belly for 5 seconds, okay? Breathe in for 5 seconds, really slow, hold your breath for 15 seconds, and then breathe out really slowly for 10 seconds. And after that, you're just going to kind of relax, breathe normally for a few seconds to kind of get back into regular breathing patterns because you don't want to hyperventilate. And then you're going to go again, that full sequence again, and then, breathe normally for a few seconds, do the full sequence again, and you're going to repeat it for 5 full rounds. Okay, and it really doesn't take long at all. This takes about 5 minutes. You can work yourself up to being able to do, every single breathing sequence in a row. So you just go 5 seconds, 15 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 15 seconds, 10 seconds, over and over and over. But for now, I would strongly recommend taking a break in between each. And, you know, uh, just a little disclaimer, we're not doctors or anything like that. If you do have, heart problems or breathing problems or lung problems or something, you should probably get the advice of your doctor first. We don't want to be held liable for anybody who hyperventilates or anything like that. But I think for healthy athletes like basketball players, there's absolutely no danger of that. I've been doing this for years and years. I've never seen a player actually have a problem like that, unless you're truly like, 300 pounds morbidly obese or you have asthma or something like that. You should be careful. But otherwise, this is a very, very effective sequence for actually shifting into parasympathetic dominant nervous system. And the reason we perform it before each meal is because it actually really helps your digestion. So just a really quick trick that you can use before you eat, after your training. If you do this all the time during the day, you're going to perpetually stay in parasympathetic dominance, and you're really going to increase your ability to recover because you're always going to be in that relaxed, anabolic recovery state, and it's really, really going to help you out a lot. So I want to hear what you think. Try this out. I think it'll really help you out a lot. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have any other tricks, share it with everybody. So scroll down, let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll talk to you very soon.